everyone, my name is Ellen and today I'm going to be showing you guys how to play Rockin' Around the Christmas Tree by Brenda on the guitar. So stay tuned if this is something that you want to learn. So this song is actually going to be really great for beginners out there because there's only a handful of chords and they're all pretty easy. And in addition to that, there's also only one strumming pattern that you need to know to play through the whole song. One more thing is that you will want to have your capo on the first fret if you want to sing it in the original key. If you don't have one, you can always go through this whole tutorial without one and it'll sound exactly the same except it'll be a half step lower. Or you can always click on this video here to watch a TMT on how to make your own capo at home. But with all of that being said, let's go ahead and jump into what those chords look like. The halls with so let's take a closer look at these chords you need to know. Like I said, there are a handful, but none of them are too bad. Let's go ahead and start with our first chord, which is G, which looks like this and sounds like this. Alright, after that we've got E minor, which looks like this and sounds like this. After that we have C, which looks like this and sounds like this. Alright, next we have D, which looks like this and sounds like this. After that we have A7, which looks like this and sounds like this. After that we have A minor 7, which looks like this and sounds like this. And then the last chord you need to know to play the song is probably also going to be our hardest, which is B minor. And it's a barred chord, and it looks like this, and it sounds like this. Alright, and those are the only chords you need to know to play through the song. However, I am going to teach you guys a few little bonus chords which will really dress up the song and make it sound a little bit cooler. So let's revisit our D chord. So anytime I play any sort of D chord, you can always just play the regular D, but if you want to make it a little bit fancier, you can play a D7 chord as well. So that looks like this and sounds like this. And then the other place you can dress up some chords would be with our E minor chord. So again, this is our regular E minor, but what you can do really easily is take off your ring finger and put your first finger on the first fret right behind your second finger. And that actually makes an E minor / major chord, which looks like this and sounds like this. I know it doesn't sound too pretty by itself, but you'll see when we do our transitions how cool that sounds. And then from here we can go to our E minor 7 chord, and all you have to do for that is take your first finger off. And so it's just your second finger, and so it looks like this and sounds like this. Alright, but let me just reiterate again, if you don't want to do all these E minor chords, you can just do the regular one. And if you don't want to do D7, you can just do the regular D throughout the song. It'll sound fine. But the cool thing about all of our E minor chords is that part in the bridge when it says voices singing let's be jolly. It goes from E minor to E minor / major to E minor 7. So very subtle changes, but it really makes the song sound a lot cooler. Voices singing, let's be jolly, deck the halls with fun things that you can put in your cover if you would like to, but like I said, if you don't want to do all of the frilly chords, you can always just stick to the basics, which would be D and A minor. Alright, so once you have those chords memorized and you can transition pretty easily between them, I'm going to go ahead and jump into the strumming pattern that you can know for this song. Beginner at guitar, then no worries. I always suggest the same thing, which is if you're doing a song for the first time, what you want to do first is do a strumming pattern that's very simple, which is just one down strum on every chord change. That way you get to know, kind of be more familiar with the song and know where those transitions are going to be and things like that. So I'm going to go ahead and take you through an example of what that sounds like. I have my G chord on because that's the first chord in the song, and what you're going to do is just strum it down once. Then we go to our next chord, which is our D7 chord. Strum down once. Then we've got A minor 7, back to D7, back to A minor 7, back to D7, back to A minor 7, back to D7, and then back to G. Alright, so you pretty much want to take that through the rest of the song and go ahead and practice singing with it. That way you know like what word you'll be singing and stuff like that when you're doing those transitions. It'll really help you get the actual strumming pattern a lot faster. So let me go ahead and put in some singing with that one down strum practice pattern, and you can hear what that sounds like. I've got my G chord on. Rockin' around the Christmas tree at the Christmas party hop. Mistletoe hung where you can see every couple tries to stop. Alright, so you can see kind of how quickly you need to be transitioning and stuff like that. So if at this point you're having a little bit of trouble with those transitions, definitely click here to watch a video that I have on how to transition between chords faster. Or if it's just the fact that you don't have your chords memorized, then go ahead and pause the video and make sure to memorize those chords and things like that. But with that being said, let's go ahead and jump into the strumming pattern that you can use with this song. Okay, so like I said at the beginning, there's only one strumming pattern you really need to know for this song, and here it is. As you can see, it's just down, down, up, down, up. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna play through this pattern for every chord. So let me go ahead and show you what it sounds like. I've got my G chord on again, because again, that's the first chord in the song. So we've got down, down, up, circle your hand around, up, down, up. All right, and that's the whole pattern, but let me go ahead and play it in rhythm so you can hear what it sounds like in rhythm. We've got down, down, up, down, up. So why don't you guys go ahead and practice that with me. Go ahead and put your G chord on. We're just gonna play through this strumming pattern together a few times. So we've got down, down, up, down, 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 up, down, up. All right, perfect. And so now once you have the rhythm down and everything, all you have to do is speed that pattern up. So let's go ahead and bring it up to tempo. Again, I have my G chord on, and we have down, down, up, down, 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 up, down. Perfect. And then once you have the pattern down and you can do it at tempo, we'll go ahead and throw in some of those chord transitions. So let's go ahead and practice this through with the intro to the song. And here is the chord list for the intro. We have G to E minor to C to D. So let's go ahead and practice transitioning between these in this strumming pattern. So I've got my G chord on to start with. So we've got down, down, up, down, up. Switch to E minor. Down, down, up, down, up. Switch to C. Down, down, up, down, up. And then to D. Down, down, up, down, up. All right. So now let's go ahead and practice that one more time without stopping between our chord transitions. So we've got G on. Down, down, up, down, up, E minor. To C. To D. One more time. G. perfect. And so what we can do is apply this same pattern for the entire song, but sometimes what's going to happen is the chord transitions are going to be a little bit faster. So what we're going to do is we're going to change chords in the middle of this pattern. So let me go ahead and show you what I'm talking about. If we go into our first verse, Rockin' Around the Christmas Tree, we're going to play the first two chords, which is G and D7, exactly how we just practiced. So let's go ahead and do that. I've got my G chord on, down, down, up, down, 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 up, down, to D7, down, down, up, down, 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 up, down. So you can see on those first two chords, we're holding this pattern through the whole way, twice for each chord. Rockin' around Christmas tree at the Christmas party. So here on this next line, when it sings about the mistletoe, this is when our chord transitions are going to go a little bit faster. So what you're going to want to do is put your A minor 7 chord on. And now instead of playing through this whole pattern on A minor 7, we're just going to play through half of it. So for A minor 7, we've got down, down, and then we're going to do the rest of this pattern on our next chord, which is D7. Up, down, up. All right, practice that with me again. We've got A minor 7, down, down, go to D7, and finish out the pattern. Up, down, up. So without stopping between, down, down, up. And that's going to be something that reoccurs in this song a few times because there are a few places in the song where they switch chords pretty quickly. So let's go ahead and practice that second part again with my A minor 7 chord on. We've got down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, G. All right, so practice that with me one more time. I'm going to go ahead and put the words in. We've got mistletoe home, you can see every couple tries to stop. Okay, and so if you're familiar with the song at all, you'll kind of pick up on when we're going to be splitting the pattern for some of the verses and stuff, but also I will be doing a cover at the end of this so that you can go through with me and play along with me for the whole song, and then that's another way that you'll be able to get more familiar with where those chord transitions are going to be a little bit faster and things like that. Okay, I am realizing though that we are still a little bit slower than where we need to be, so let's go ahead and take this opportunity to play through the first verse together. I'll keep this strumming pattern on screen and I'll list all of the chord transitions that we're about to encounter, but let's go ahead and try to speed it up a little bit so we can get it at tempo. So we've got our G chord on, we've got down, down, up, down, 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 up, down. Rockin' around the Christmas tree at the Christmas party hop. Mistletoe home where you can see every couple tries to stop. All right, perfect. So that's about the speed that we're going to want to aim for. But once you have all of those transitions down and you have the strumming pattern down and you have all the chords memorized and everything like that, we can actually put together everything that we've learned in this video and play through the entire song. So as always, I will have all the lyrics on screen in front of you as well as all the chord transitions, and I will highlight which chord you should be on at what part of the song. So let's go ahead and put all of these elements together and play through Rockin' Around the Christmas Tree by Brenda Lee. Good luck. tutorial for Rockin' Around the Christmas Tree by Brenda. Please make sure to give this video a thumbs up down below if you found any part of it helpful, as well as subscribe to my channel. And if you are already subscribed, please make sure to turn on that bell notification as well. That way you don't miss any time I upload another video for you guys. As always, here are my social media sites in case any of you guys would like to follow me on those. I just do little sneak peeks and sometimes some giveaways, and I also use my social media to find people to give shout outs to. So if you want to get a shout out in my next video like this person right here, then go ahead and follow me on any of those. But even if you don't, thanks so much for watching. I hope that this helped. I hope you have a happy holiday, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!